You are entering ENC's Pod of Awesomeness.
All right, Birdman, before we get to the Q&A, it's a Q&A edition of the ENC Pod of Awesomeness.
Yeah.
I think we would be remiss if we did not mention that the Toronto Raptors could close out the NBA Finals again tomorrow night. We're recording this on a Wednesday night. It could happen. 24 years as a franchise. It's pretty crazy for two kids from Toronto being there for the whole thing to see it. It's very cool.
The total amount of basketball that I've watched this year was the last game that was on. I turned it on in the first quarter, and I was watching it. They were losing, so I turned away, and I turned back, and they got it pretty close. So I'm very superstitious. So I was like, oh, they went on a run here. If I keep watching, when I first started watching, they were losing by a big margin. So now they caught up. I better turn away. So I turned away, and when I turned back again, they were winning. So
you turned back away.
I turned away, and then when I turned back at the very end, I should have just stayed away, because when I turned back at the very end, the final buzzer was going and they lost. So I blame myself for the Raptors losing.
It's your fault, but
it is.
What do you do when you turn away? Like, I just picture you sitting in an empty room by yourself, watching the TV, and then you just turn, and you're kind of like the dude from Arrested Development, the younger brother with the glasses. It's just kind of a little weird. I picture you just kind of sitting there rocking like that.
No, I think I turned to the cooking channel.
You turned the channel. See, I thought you physically turned yourself.
No, I just away to a different channel. I was
with your back to the TV.
No, I was watching the best thing I ever ate. So I switched away because I'm big on food shows. So
I kind of like it better if you just kind of rotated your narrow little ass and just kind of turned yourself.
That maybe I'll start
and stared at a different
maybe
wall.
Better for the superstition. So, and tonight,
I think
as we're recording this, Game 7 of the NHL Finals, we both picked the Blues. We'll see if that happens. I picked them in 6. Oh man,
I said it was going to go 7. I did say it was going to go 7. I predicted 7. I predicted Blues. I predicted them to win the whole thing. And so I don't know. It's going to be tough in Boston, man. It's going to be real tough. There's Shine drinking water. Of course, she starts drinking water as soon as I come in here. I swear to you. All right.
She knows. She knows, brother.
She does.
All right.
She does.
People.
Should we get to the sack?
That's why they send us all these fucking questions. So we better get to them, because they get mad when they don't get them answered. All right. Right before we get to this Q&A, I have a question for you. You know what I love? I love my cats. I love Oscar, the elder statesman, the grumpy old cat that judges everybody. I love Lexi, my little rescue. I love my 3-legged cat, Sammy. I love my indoor-outdoor cat, Pepe. I love them all. But you know what I don't love? Cleaning up their litter box, which is why Arm & Hammer created new Cloud Control Litter. There's no cloud of nasties when I scoop. It's 100% dust-free, free of heavy perfumes, and helps reduce airborne dander from scooping. So what happens in the litter box stays in the litter box. New Cloud Control Cat Litter by Arm & Hammer. More power to you. Maybe we should get into somebody who's got some nasties too.
Yeah. And you know how to follow this thing and listen to this thing by this point. If you're listening to this, you know how to listen to it, right?
Yeah. Basically.
Right? Okay. Yeah. So fire away, Birdman. What you got?
Here, I'll start this one off with John Fitzsimmons at John. Let me see what it says here. Oh, man, I'm so bad with this. At John the Journo. I take it he's a journalist. Were there any basic moves you never quite got the hang of? Seem to remember in one of Jericho's books, he said that leg drops were always hard for him.
And elbow drops and stomps.
I don't remember, I don't remember anything really giving me that much trouble. I remember when I started training, the only thing that really gave me trouble were monkey flips. Giving a monkey flip.
Yeah.
So that, like, the first time, and I think because, you jump up and you put your feet on the person's hips, you grab them by the back of the neck, and then you kind of have to squat down with your knees and roll back. And the first time I did it, I think I landed weird on my lower back, and I bruised it, so I got a little gun shy of landing in that spot. So it was awkward for me, and it took me a long time to get the hang of just the basic throwing a monkey flip. So
and honestly, it's not that basic. It's kind of a weird move, and you can really mess up your lower back on that thing. You know, especially if you pull too hard, the dude collapses on top of you. There's a lot of margin for error in a monkey flip. So next time you see a monkey flip, hosers, don't take it for granted.
Yeah, I was a better monkey flip taker than I was a giver. So I could take a monkey flip.
You know who was a great monkey flip giver?
Van Damme.
RVD.
Yeah, strong legs.
Shoot you up in the air. He was easy to do the flip to the feet with, because I remember I accidentally, once I was taking a monkey flip, I landed on my feet. I went, oh, what just happened? How did I do that? And it just, so he was a good guy to do that with.
Yeah. Show.
So I guess it's my turn, huh?
Yeah.
I will do it. At the PWP, Adam, what's your favorite match of Jay's? And there's a two-parter, so it'll come back to you in a second. See, this is a tough one because everything's so subjective, right? But I always said you were able to make, and this is not a knock on Yoshitatsu, but you could make Yoshitatsu look like Ricky Steamboat. And but there's some that, you know, kind of fly under the radar of yours that I really enjoyed. You had a series with Regal. I believe it was on ECW.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed that because of the contrast in styles. And it was really one of those instances where, you know, you worked good with a guy like Randy, who had a methodical, that thing that he does. Well, Regal's very much the same way, but involves a lot of chain wrestling and things like that. And then you had the ability to pick it up in between and knew when to do it. And I really enjoyed your matches with him. And for people who haven't seen it, that those are worth going to check out. They're very, I'm saying those because they're under the radar, but I mean, there's the obvious ones of you and Randy and, you know, the SummerSlam street fight. And, but those ones I always just remember watching because some people couldn't adapt to Regal's style. And I always really enjoyed working Regal and trying to adapt to it. And and you really did a great job with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard really when to figure it out. When you're working with somebody, you work to their strengths. You don't try to, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter who it is, whoever you're in the ring with. If you're working with somebody who doesn't throw good punches, guess what? Don't have them throw any punches. You work to their strengths. It's really not that difficult. You don't try to get them to do things that are out of their realm or whatever. You know, it's not hard. It's not rocket science.
Well, that being said, though, the only way to do that is to be a student of the game. So you and I both, if there were a person on the roster, we knew exactly what they did.
Right.
There was not anyone that if, you know, you showed up and went, oh, man, I don't know what that guy does. I don't know how he works. That was not the case because, you know, from either sitting and watching every match in the back or, you know, watching them over time, you know, when you got home, there wasn't, I don't think there was a curveball that could have been thrown at you, I guess is what I'm saying, because you did your homework.
Right. Well, I tried to.
The second part of this, so you didn't have to put yourself over. I put you over. What's your favorite match of Adam's? Note, must be a match you yourself weren't a part of. He put that in for you.
Apparently, he thought I'd probably pick something with you and I could inadvertently put myself over, which I would have done. I think I mentioned this before. My favorite match of yours was your match, a main event of WrestleMania with The Undertaker. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than that. I mean, that's the dream. We dreamt of that as kids growing up, like main eventing, being the world champion, walking down that aisle at WrestleMania as the last match, as the main event, as the headliner, and you got to do it against, you know, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, most revered superstar in the history of the company. So, and I remember too, you know, you worked that match really smart. as well, and I think my favorite part of it, and I think I texted you this after because I wasn't there at the time, was that you waited for the Hell's Gate and you didn't tease it or attempt it, you just did it once. And I completely forgot that it was in his arsenal until he hit it, and that was the biggest surprise of the match for me. And I thought it was perfectly placed, and I think overall that was my favorite match of yours. And it was a tough position. Like they'd seen so much that night, and you had them.
It is a very tough position, but it is the position you want. And, in terms of the Hell's Gate thing, the whole idea that I wanted to get across in the match was that I could counter everything that he could throw at me.
Right.
Except for that. So throughout the match, everything he did, I countered, and then either he recountered and then I recountered again or whatever it was. Right. But all of his stuff got countered until finally that. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. That was a good one that I enjoyed being a part of.
Yeah. What do you got, Salacious?
All right. I got from @IntegralBird. What were the best and worst things that could be on the menu for catering?
Well, I'll do a little two-parter there. I always like going to Baltimore because they had fresh crab cakes, and I love me a good crab cake. Milwaukee was always notorious for having great catering. Yep. But the crab cakes in Baltimore were personally my favorite. And also, whenever we were in the UK, banoffee pie, they always had banoffee pie. That was, you'd see so many guys just scarfing it down. It was
a lot of people got chunky on those European. Well, and here was the thing with the European trips is right after the shows you'd leave and then you'd hop on the bus. Yeah. And then on the bus they'd have KFC, pizza, and chips, potato chips, or crisps Nando's, as they are over there. So, and you're starving because you haven't eaten probably since lunch, maybe a protein bar, whatever. So you get on the bus, you probably got a 2 to 3 hour drive, and I mean, you put a bunch of, large athletes in one space with pizza and KFC. At some point, the will's going to break and it's just going to get devoured. So you could usually see the difference between like the beginning of the tour and then the TV at the end of the tour. And it's like, spandex and KFC don't go together well. So, Milwaukee was always the best, though.
Yeah, overall they were, but the crab cakes in Baltimore are always my favorite. So, so I got one. So Nick at SpongeBrick Nick is asking, if you could have a triple threat match, picking one wrestler from each of WWE, NXT, and NXT UK, who would it be, why, and what is the match stipulation? Well, I mean, you just said a triple threat match. That's triple the stipulation, is it not?
There's a step. Yeah, that's the step.
I think I would pick... I'd like to see Rollins. I would like to see Adam Cole.
Yeah.
And I would like to see Tyler Bate.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
Whoa. God. Son of a bitch.
What? Did you like that answer?
That's pretty good. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. That's tough. My gosh. Man.
Why don't you pick your boy?
All right.
The Stallion.
Which one? Huh?
The Stallion.
Who?
The Stallion.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm thinking now. Just give me a second.
Fucking taking forever.
Okay, fine. I won't take forever yet. Fucker. You know what? I'm gonna go with. I'm trying to like a blend of different styles, and I think I'm gonna go with AJ Styles. see what I did there?
Yeah.
No. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. From WWE, it's either going to be AJ or Brock, which I know seem very different. Matt Riddle, my bro, and Pete Dunne.
I like that. I actually like Brock better.
I kind of think so, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. After I said AJ, I was like, hold on a second. That would be really cool because you could have both of them trying to chip down Brock. And then, but I also think they would do great stuff with him. I think, man, that'd be fun. That'd be a fun match.
Yeah.
Whew, that was a good question.
That was a good question. I like when we get good ones.
All right. Altar Ego. Ever been to India? Yes. What was your experience like? I had fun. Was the Montreal screw job a work or a shoot?
Is that a question? What part is that a question?
So, okay, you've been to India, right, Jay?
I have been to India.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've both been to India.
Uh-huh.
Was the Montreal screw job a work or a shoot?
I mean, we were there. It was a shoot. Yeah, we were there.
Uh,
I mean, we didn't have a fucking clue what was going on because,
But it was all real.
yeah, it was
No matter what anybody wants to paint it as or try and,
Yeah.
change it over the years or, make it a Hollywood story. No, it's
Yeah.
all legit. And the third part of this three-tiered question, Bret Hart, best ever? For me, he is, as a man and as a wrestler, exclamation point. So here's the thing with best ever. You can say
So
favorite.
subjective. Right.
Yeah, you can say favorite. That I can accept. You start saying best anything with something like wrestling, it's all so subjective. It's like saying who's the best actor, what's the best movie, what's the best book. It's going to be subjective for everybody, and it's probably going to be different. You can get a consensus, a general consensus, sure, okay, and Rick and Sean and Brett are usually going to be on those lists. Okay, fine, but I don't think there's a best ever. Like, tonight, when the Stanley Cup Finals finish, who the best team this year was.
Right. Yeah. This
It's
year
not
doesn't mean
entertainment.
of all time. Yeah.
Yeah. So my favorite ever, it's very tough.
Right.
There's so many talented people throughout the years, all for different reasons. And I could go through a phase where, man, I'm into Macho Man matches.
Right.
And at that point, he's my favorite to watch. And then I'll gravitate back to Brett and,
Well, let's
as an
put it
old
this way.
standby kind of thing, It's tough.
Like I said, it's there's never going to be a right answer for it, but Brett will always be in the conversation as far as being the best ever goes. So that tells you something.
Yes, exactly.
Right. What do you got, Salacious?
All right, this one is from Kirkpatrick14. Best wrestler to never hold a world title.
Well,
I mean, Mr. Perfect's the first one that jumps to mind for me.
yeah. Right.
Even though AWA at that point was still considered a world title, so we're splitting hairs.
Yeah.
But having never got that run in WWF, which I think was obviously very deserved. But I'm a huge, Perfect fan, and I know Barry Windham won an incarnation of it, like later, but I don't know. It was very confusing and muddled at that point. So Barry Windham's one to me that he's so awesome. Go back and watch Barry Windham, everybody. My God, that guy.
Yeah. I mean,
He's
you
just
could also,
so
in the
smooth
same
and
breath,
fluid.
you could say Cowboy Bob Orton in the same breath.
Absolutely.
Or even a guy like Arn Anderson,
or Jake the Snake Roberts.
Right. And
Or-
you think about you think about Arn Anderson, a guy that could, and same with Jake, guys that could talk people into buildings,
Yeah.
and they never had that chance. So,
And whether you want to count the whole Andre giving DiBiase, I mean, there's so many talented, and I know Rude, again, won an incarnation of it and yada, yada, but I think you could put any of them on that list. There's a lot of, it was a different era, man. You had a guy hold the world title for 4 or 5 years, and it didn't get tossed around a lot then.
yeah. Yup. So, yup.
I got a good one.
I got one too.
You got
It's
one
my
first.
turn.
Do it.
Jerk face.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't
John
know we're going in
Shermer.
order.
You don't want to make John Shermer wait, do you?
Fair enough.
I don't think you do. At JD Sherm wants his question read, and I'm going to read it.
Sherm. Fuck Sherm. Okay, sorry. Go
Okay,
ahead.
that means
I'm just joking,
maybe that
Sherm.
means-
I'm with you.
Maybe he'll change his Twitter handle at fuck Sherm. Who knows? So his question is, Heathen Birdman, redeem yourself for squeezing the toothpaste from the center. Does your toilet paper roll over or under?
Ooh, this is huge.
This is actually a really good question.
This is a very good question.
And not to mention, it's something that happened to me today. I wasn't paying attention, and I put the roll on, and it was under, and I gasped in horror and pulled it off and turned it around and put it over the way it's really supposed to be.
It's a very good question, Birdman. And I'm surprised that we agree on this, but it has to be over. You don't do it under.
Yeah.
Why would anyone in their right mind do it under? What is wrong with a person who puts it under?
Especially if you have kids, you don't put it under, because then they grab it and run.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's got to be over. And especially as a taller person, here's what has to happen. If I reach down for toilet paper while I'm standing, let's say, I want to blow my nose or something. I'm taking a leak and I want to blow my nose too, right? Yeah. I'd wait for the leak and then I'd blow my nose. Sure. Don't get me wrong, because I don't know what would happen if I tried both at the same time. However, what I'm saying is, if I'm standing there and I got to reach under the roll and try and find that thing, no. Whereas if it's over, I just reach in and go, oh, there it is. Yep.
Right.
I blow my nose now.
Look, let's just be honest here. That question was classic fuck Sherm,
Absolutely it was.
Yeah. So
it was
question,
fuck Sherm all day.
Yeah.
Sherm, so here's the deal. But also, Beth puts it under.
Oh,
huge debate in this household. It is heat. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's got bodies buried somewhere, because anybody who puts it under is probably a mass murderer.
I don't know if they go that far, but
okay.
Anywho,
all right.
What do you got? You said
here's a good one. At Sir_Die, DAI. So I'm probably mispronouncing that. But who was your favorite journeyman wrestler that never got the WWF chance? I would have always loved to have seen Dr. Luther get to WWF. Shout out to our boy, Lenny, a.k.a. Dr. Luther, who we go way back with, who's living out in Seattle. Always, an amazing guy, amazingly talented guy. And just to go on the Luther tip here, the first guy that I was in the ring with that really slowed me down and showed me how this whole thing could work, because up until that point, we were all working each other. We're all running a million spots, 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it was all nice and fancy and everything like that. He was the first guy that went, whoa, 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 whoa. And I went, oh, wait, we can do that? We can stop? So shout out to Lenny, Dr. Luther.
Yeah.
What do you got there?
That's actually what I would have picked. Damn.
Really?
He picked my pick.
Well, there you go. I got one.
Okay.
Brad Armstrong.
Yeah.
Because that dude, wow. I mean,
love me some.
Go back and watch you some Brad Armstrong too. While you're going back to watch Barry Windham, try and find you a Brad Armstrong versus Barry Windham. I'll do it even better. Brad Armstrong, to me, man, he had everything, and backstage he was a seriously funny cat. So it was one of those things that I don't know if it translated to his promos. It's kind of like Dean Malenko in the back. He's hilarious, but it didn't work its way into his character at all. But Brad Armstrong, man, he was always one of those guys. No matter what he was doing, whether he's Arachna Man or Bad Street, I was still going to watch, because I knew that it was him.
I had a select few guys that I studied, and when I say studied, broke it down like game film, like a football player would or an athlete would. And he was one of the guys that I would stop and I would dissect matches that he did, because he was so good at all the little things that make what we do great. And I love Brad Armstrong. I was a huge Brad Armstrong fan. So that's a great pick.
Yeah. He was just so good. I probably my favorite drop kick I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole family is just, they're all stellar, on down from Bullet Bob on down. But Brad, man, he was a great dude. But just so talented. Yeah. So This is a very good question, though. All right, Salacious, what you got?
All right, this one is from Night Pickle 88. Who is the sweatiest?
Hold on a second. Wait, hold on. Night Pickle?
At Night Pickle 88, baby.
I don't even want to know what Night Pickle entails. Maybe I do. I don't know. Okay, go on.
Who is the sweatiest person you know, and why is it Shane McMahon?
Well, you should see him after I beat him at Mock Mock. Oh my God, that's when he's really sweaty.
Yeah, Shane's sweaty. But when you get out there underneath those lights and you're wearing other jackets and stuff, I'm not gonna lie,
It's in jeans.
It's fucking hot.
Yeah.
It's you get moist very, very quickly. And,
why'd you use that word? That is like the worst
your pits
word.
You start pitting right away. You get the back sweats. You sweat. So
Yeah, but why moist?
because that's what it is. That's what happens when the water comes out of your pores.
But now I'm just picturing you with a moist ass, and I just
Shut up. Eric Young was a pretty sweaty guy. Is a pretty sweaty guy. Mark Henry's pretty sweaty.
I was about to say Mark Henry would probably be. Yeah.
Whenever I wrestled Mark, whenever I would like hit him with a chop or I'd punch him and he did the hair like the flick, you just see all like and it was good, actually good visual.
Yeah, I was going to say Mark Henry. I think and I remember, man, bless his heart, Dustin with that full body.
Oh yeah, jeez.
PVC. Man, I felt so bad for him in that thing because I remember working him and seeing him turn his head and steam coming out of it. Yeah. I mean, you talk about it being hot out there in jeans and a jacket. Well, imagine a PVC suit that doesn't breathe at all. And I literally saw, like, when you're really sweating pretty good and you're in one of those like old arenas that, and you can see the steam coming off you, right? Well, it came out of the suit. It was crazy. So,
yeah. All right. Well, here's one from Matt Harrison at Matt Barrison. Are you enjoying the 24/7 title, and what would you like to see done with it next? Yeah. I mean, like we talked about before, it gives a chance it adds a little bit of fun, right? Like you saw this past week with everybody being stuck in the elevator, a little bit of entertainment value, and it gets a bunch of faces on the show that are talented and should be on there. And they get to show some personality and have some fun with it. What would I like to see done with it? You know what? I think Corey Graves deserves a run with this title. I want to see him come off commentary, roll somebody up, and just sit there with the 24/7 title on commentary.
Wait, and then Renee covers him.
Right. Man.
And then, yeah. Oh, see? There we go. And we're off and running.
Corey Graves.
Well, then Michael Cole's going to have to get involved too, boys. So
yeah,
Michael Cole's going to come in for that role. Hey, triple threat at the commentary table.
He's going to get that singlet back on. Yeah, I mean, I like it. And I think, I don't know where I saw it, but on YouTube, it's one of the most watched, segments of WWF programming on YouTube. So, there's people that are enjoying it and watching it. And I think it's, hey, listen, if I'm looking, let's say, at a band set list, when they're putting it together, they put a lot of thought into, okay, we need a little bit of a break here and a breather for the audience. We can have some banter here. We can have a kick-ass song here. We can have a ballad here. There has to be a break from just promo, wrestling match. There needs to be some different things. And I think that is one thing that the Attitude Era did. I've often said there were sometimes 2-minute matches, things like that, but it was very varied, I guess.
Right.
So I think it helps with that. Very, very varied. All right, we'll get back to the sack of questions. But real quickly, I want to tell you about Ancestry DNA. I I wonder what my family tree looks like. I wonder why I have this huge forehead. I wonder why I'm blonde. I wonder why I have green eyes. See, these are all things that I wanted to know. And maybe you're looking to confirm that you have a great-great-grandma who immigrated from Spain, or the family lore that you're 100% Sicilian, and maybe you aren't. You ever wonder where your family comes from? You can discover more about them and learn about your story by combining the Ancestry DNA test with billions of historical family records. Ancestry DNA gives you so much more than just the places you're from. Ancestry connects you to the places in the world where your story started using precise geographic detail and clear-cut historical insights. You can even trace your ancestors' journey over time, following how and why your family moved from place to place. See, for me, it was interesting to see the migration path of my DNA, and it basically goes through Fennoscandia, through Finland, through Sweden, through Norway, down into the Orkney Isles, and then across to Iceland. It was really eye-opening, and it was kind of amazing to discover, and even more relatable to me because it was the same path that the character I played on Vikings, sailed. And it's just kind of mind-blowing. So you can look forward to finding out all of these things. And to amplify your results, you can start a free trial on Ancestry and build a tree so your ancestors become more than just a name. They've combined DNA results with over 100 million family trees and billions of records to give you more insight into your genealogy and origins. Only Ancestry can tell such a rich story with unique features that give a more complete picture about a person, like events that shape them, how they made a living, and what they excelled in. Ancestry's unique features and record collections can give a more complete picture of people from your past, like the events that shaped them, how they made a living, even how long they attended school. And it's so easy to get started. Go to Ancestry.com/ECPod today for 20% off your Ancestry DNA kit. That's Ancestry.com/ECPod for 20% off your Ancestry DNA kit. Ancestry.com/ECPod. By God, it's Logan. Hold on, By God, it's Logan Corkins, at Logan Corkins. Yeah. If Big E was to turn heel, what would you have him do to hurt the New Day?
Who's this? Big E?
Yeah.
Well, I'd have him beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, I mean, I just like the idea of Big E turning heel on them. It hadn't even factored into my brain that could be the case.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd obviously try to get the most heat out of it and have him cost Kofi the title, right? Out of jealousy or something.
Yeah. And then Xavier, he's the man in the middle. What does he do? What does he do, brother?
Who's he going to go with?
Does he just go home and watch Golden Girls, or
no? Or
does he try and do something about it?
Yeah, you do little push and pull. He's trying to make Xavier see that all the bad things that Kofi's done, and Kofi's trying to be the nice guy that he is, and hey, look at this guy turned his back on us, and now we can't dance anymore. So. Wait.
So then it builds. You're going, here it is, Kofi, Big E. What's going to happen? Xavier turns on Kofi too, because they're both jealous.
You have a match with both of them, and Xavier is the special guest referee.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff right there. By God, it's Logan Corkins. All right. Who's up? Salacious?
I'll take this one. This is from @MattyG757. If there were to be cocktails named after Paul Smackage and Flip Sunset, which ingredients would be in each?
What was that? Say it again.
If there were to be cocktails named after Paul Smackage and Flip Sunset, which ingredients would be in each?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think for Flip, there's got to be some Malibu rum in there. I think that goes without saying. I also think you probably put strippers' tears in there. Let's see. That might be it, actually. Yeah. No, actually, wait.
Oh, I'm gonna cut you off right there, fella. Oh, I'm gonna cut you off right there, big bird. Oh, I want to tell you something right now. I told you 2 weeks ago I'd be back next week, so here I am, prompt and right on time, like brother. Oh, you wanna know what my favorite drink is? Oh, you crossed the line with that one, brother. Everybody knows. Everybody, my whole smack pack knows. Oh, you wanna get on small package? You wanna get a small package? Oh, I'm tongue tied right now. I'm so mad. You wanna get on Paul's package's good side? You don't wanna get on my bad side, brother? Then you hand me a Jack and cream soda and hit the brakes. Oh, I'm out of here, brother. I'm on my way to Tokyo.
It's on his way to Tokyo. What's he doing in Tokyo?
I don't fucking know.
Is he gonna do a run on a Jericho match? What's
Maybe.
and what did you say? Smack Pack? Is that what he's calling his people?
Yeah, I think so.
It's pretty good actually. I kind of like that. Smack Pack.
Yeah.
I think old Paul Smack had just created another T-shirt for himself there.
Yeah. Jack and cream soda. There you have it.
I mean, yeah, that works, right? I don't know how that would taste.
Yeah.
Huh. And Flip Sunsets is Malibu rum and stripper sweat. So there you go.
Well,
all right.
there you go. Those are, maybe you want to add those to your local bar.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Flip sounds a little bit more fun, but
Well, I think Paul is just straight to the point.
Yeah.
It's hardcore.
There you go.
He's not into fancy shit. He's into getting that pizze.
All right, I'm into you. Getting to the next question, dumbass.
At _ringmav wants to know fast food places to go during your drives. Favorite fast food. Yeah. Well, I think the options are better now than they were when we were. Like it was always like, if you got into a town early, you get a Cracker Barrel or an IHOP or something like that. Sometimes you find an IHOP open late, or you'd have to do the what's it called, Waffle
Wendy's.
House. Yeah, or if you're doing like a fast food drive, you have to do like a Wendy's or a McDonald's, try to get a chicken breast or a salad or something like that.
I always found Wendy's seemed to be the safest bet with that because if I was watching my diet, I'd get their chili. It wasn't too high in fat. And then get a couple grilled chicken breast sandwiches and just toss the buns, and that would be a good late night kind of, meal to get through. But it's funny. I'm reading Al Snow's book right now. It's called Self-Help. And I'm only a few chapters in, but it's really funny. Al's a funny guy. He's an intelligent guy. He's seen everything there is to see. And he is kind of like probably started 10 years before us type thing. Yeah. So he talks about how at that point in gas stations, there wasn't microwaves in every gas station. So you would buy stuff, and if you wanted it heated, what he would do is put it on his engine, and he would drive, and he called it his car barbecue, and then he would stop, get the heated sandwich off of his engine, and eat his heated sub or whatever it was. It's amazing how far things have come, and now you have these meal companies, all these prepackaged high protein, low fat, low carb options. I mean, it's so much easier now. I wish they had all that stuff when we were back on the road.
I love me a Wawa now. Give me a good Wawa. You can get anything in Wawa. Yeah.
Sheets is pretty good too.
Sheets, yeah.
Yeah. That's how MVP and I would always say it. So it's an inside story. So Jonathan A. Green at I am J.A. Green. What are your favorite championship designs, and which title designs do you dislike? I think we've talked about it a little bit, so we won't go too into it. But for me, my personal favorite, IC title, the Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat, I guess the current one, that design to me is classic. There is no better looking championship than that to me. I think and he didn't have this one for long. It was right after Hogan won the title from Iron Sheik, and they had the weird green one, right? The one right after that, where it was this kind of almost egg oval type thing. I actually loved that championship. And then from there, they went to the winged, the Eagles wings one. But that one in between the Sheik and that one, I think, was my favorite. And then there's Big Gold, Flair. That just, to me, screams world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I agree on all those. And I will say this too, and it's too young to say it's my favorite, but I'm going to say the AEW world title is pretty damn sharp. The All Elite one, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's got a good old school, like a real traditional world championship look to it. I really dig it.
Yeah, we're going way, way back, but do you remember the U.S. Tag Team Championships?
Yeah, love
those. Are pretty cool too. The red leather and those were neat. As was the U.S. title.
What about the Western
some good
States
ones.
Heritage title?
Ooh, you know what,
folks?
The UWF, the Steve Williams one man gang. That was a good one too.
Yeah.
Whew. All right.
Yeah, you didn't know I was going to pull that one out, huh?
I did not expect to hear Western States Heritage title. No, I did not.
Yeah. Barry Windham had that, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he was the first. He might have been the first, but he did have it at one point.
All in. What do you got, Salacious?
There you go.
All right, this is from @StraightEdgeForLife95.
Yeah.
What's one match from each of you that wasn't shown on TV that you wish people got to see?
Had a match with William Regal in Tokyo. First time WWF had been back there in, I think, 10 years. And we were first out of the gate. And man, as soon as we came out, we didn't have anything mapped out. We had the finish. And we just went out there and wrestled. And damn, it was fun. And we did some different stuff and some really different things. Like he went, for a chicken wing suplex, and then I blocked it and stood up and held it, and then dropped him into like a backdrop, and we bridged out. Just a lot of like different stuff. And the crowd, we didn't know what to expect because we've been to Japan and they could be silent and they're respectful and all of those things. Man, right. Shane came out to cut a promo with the translator, and they booed the translator because they wanted the experience of the WWF show. So we were first out of the gate, and man, they were so live. They were so just ready to be there, and so were we. So that's one that I wish had seen the light of day somewhere.
Yeah, I got a couple. One was myself and Jericho in, I want to say it was in Hiroshima, Japan. And same thing, didn't go out there with we'd wrestled a bunch of times, but didn't talk about anything, went out and we did like 30 minutes. And it was, from my recollection, was really, really good. And I was like, man, that should have been like a pay-per-view match or something. And the other one was myself and Van Dam in Korea. And I think the crowd part like the match was one of my favorite matches that I've had. It was a really, really great match that we had, and the crowd just added to it. They were just so hot. Like, it had been years and years since WWE had been there at this point, and the crowd was just, I still don't think I've ever heard a crowd that loud in my life. It was insane. And it just added to the match.
I had a lot against Benoit too. That Chris was a guy you had to call it all out there, because he wouldn't remember anything he talked about in the back. And we had a long series there for a while on house shows. And I remember Arn was the agent for that, and he was like, "Well, boys, we're making, they're good town." So we had a street fight, and I got color on a house show, and we fought all over the place. I remember, we're fighting in the hot dog stand. I mean, it felt like one of those old NWA gritty fights, I guess. Yeah. And I remember that one being a lot of fun.
We've talked a lot about on this pod, and the thread has been Regal and how like reliable of a performer he is. You know what you're going to get. And it reminds me of another story that, and this is another match that could have been on TV that wasn't, but the story is pretty crazy. And it's when we were doing a European tour, and you were on the other side of it when the volcanoes erupted and they weren't letting flights out, and we all got stuck there. Well, we had finished a show, and we went to the airport to catch our charter to go to a place. What was it called? It was somewhere in France. It was like a 5,000-6,000 seat stadium. Was it Lieven, France, or was it? I can't remember the exact name of the town. It was a smaller city in France.
Lyon?
It might have been, but it was the first time running the arena, and it was sold out. So we're sitting there for hours waiting for this charter. They finally tell us the charter's not coming. So they send the buses back. And now it's like a 6-7 hour drive, and we've now wasted about 3-4 hours at this airport. And we're going to have to make this drive now to get to this town because, we made a commitment to be there. We're going to be there. So everybody jumps back on the buses. We start driving. Now, none of us have eaten yet because it was early morning charter. So they call ahead to some McDonald's or something like that. And I shit you not, the buses stop at the side of the road in front of a McDonald's. There was a bunch of McDonald's people standing out front holding bags of food. And there was there was a handoff. They hand them all off to the buses, close the door. We kept driving. Like, that just shows you how things get set up as you go. And then we're driving. Now we get stuck in this huge traffic jam. And we're at least a couple hours till outside. And it's not moving. So somehow they call car services to come the other way and meet us because the buses obviously move slower than a regular car does. So they wanted one producer, one ref, and 3 matches to get into these cars. So it was Evan Bourne and Chavo were one match. I can't remember what the other match was, but the third match was myself and Regal. And the instructions were, get to the arena, you guys are on third, and just work until we show up. We didn't know how long it was going to be. So we got there, and so they had these cars meet us on the way. So the 3 matches, the producer, the ref, everybody jumps out. We get in this car, we hit the bricks, we get to the city limit. Now there's a police escort getting us to the arena. So we pull up to the arena, and now we're probably half hour after the bell time was supposed to be. And there's nobody outside. I was like, man, everybody left. Like maybe they caught wind.
No show. See ya.
They bailed. So we walk in the arena. Like I said, we're on third. So you could hear a pin drop in there. It was so quiet in the arena. So I go and I look through the curtain. I just peek through. And I'm not kidding. The place was packed. People were just sitting there patiently waiting for us to show up. I guess they had told them, look, this is all that's gone on. They're coming here to perform for you. They're going to make it. And they were just sitting there waiting. Nobody was yelling and screaming. They were sitting there quiet. And when the referee and the announcer walked out, it was like Hulk Hogan walked in his prime. It was so
Justin Roberts got the biggest pop of his life.
Yeah. So they go out, and then Regal and I go on third, and we probably wrestled for about 30, maybe a little bit more than 30 minutes. And then we got the Iggy that we were good to go. And then after that, we had to jump back on the buses, and I think we had to drive to a ferry to take another ferry to get to Ireland to do our last 2 shows. So it was planes, trains, and automobiles, man. It was crazy, but we made the shots, brother. We made the towns.
Ooh, real quick, I just remembered another one. I believe it was in was it Monterey? Did you remember that outdoor kind of arena that country singer in Mexico owns? Was that Guadalajara? Yeah, right?
It's crazy, right?
So Ray and I once worked 62 minutes there.
Huh.
It was for the title, and it's Ray, so let's go. And I just remember it being so damn hot. Talk about sweaty, the earlier question. We were drenched. There was flies on the canvas for the counts. It was just it was so hot and muggy and everything, but it was so much fun. We had a blast. I got a cup of piss thrown in my face after I went over. It was a really fun match, though.
That was actually me. Sorry.
Yeah, of course it was. Hey, Seth Pancakes, which you had me right there. How much wood could a Birdman chuck if a Birdman could chuck wood? Yeah. All right. Now, that's not the actual question, but I had to read that because,
No, I got you.
I kind of get like you chucking wood. Okay. Bill Chamberlain, what's the typical process when you'd work with someone new? Was time set aside to learn how to take their signature moves or learn their flow, or is it a wing it scenario? I'm always fascinated when I see someone new take a styles clash safely and wonder what goes into it. I think it varies from person to person, honestly.
Right.
I always like to just get in there and feel it.
Yeah, me too. And if there's something that you're unsure of, sometimes maybe you'd walk through it or something like that. Or if you have a certain thing that you need somebody to take a certain way, you just like, sometimes the other person's kind of like, hey, you're just doing this and this. Okay, cool. And then some people actually want to feel it and want to see it. And like, it just depends on the performer and your personal preference.
But in terms of like the entire match, you're not going to get someone's feel or flow until you're in there. Right. You can kind of like just show a few steps of the move. But in terms of like getting in there and finding each other's rhythm and everything, because every performer's different, you're not going to get that until that first match is out of the way. But even so, I've talked about it, like Eddie and I, we didn't feel like we fully gelled and grooved until like, probably our 10th match together.
Yeah. Yep. Well, hey, I think we should give John here the last question, because I think we got to wrap this up. If no other reason I want to watch Game 7. Sorry, that's just how it's happening right now.
I'm still shocked that I got a text saying that we were going to do this on a Wednesday.
I know.
So, but it is 1-0 Blues. I don't know if you guys have seen as we're recording.
Man.
So let's get this last question out of the way. It is actually for Adam. Okay. What were your thoughts when Jay left the WWE and went to TNA?
Well, I remember it was in Anaheim when he told me, and I got it. I really did. It was coming off of the heels of that, the program with Cena, which should have been a solo program, when you're really starting to get great reactions, and so was John. And then they kind of forced Jericho into it. And I remember thinking at that time, I was like, why did they just force Chris into that? That could have just been a solo Cena Christian program, and it would have been really good. So after I saw that, I went, I wouldn't be surprised. So when you told me, I totally got it. I absolutely understood. You reach a certain point and you go, okay, I've done everything I feel like I can do. Clearly there's something here that isn't, either seen or whatever it is. Maybe I just go somewhere else and show what I can actually properly do, and and see where it goes from there. And I think that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, I think you said it well. That wasn't for me, so I'm not answering it. That was for you. Plus, I want to watch Game 7.
And you want to get to Game 7. So there's that. All right, hosers. It was an abbreviated version, but let's face it,
questions.
Game 7's on. It was very good questions. Very good questions. Enjoyed that.
It's Game 7. We'll talk to them next week. We'll have a good guest for you. Don't worry about it. All right, Mark.
All right.
Later. We're out of here.